I don't know why I keep doing tier lists when I'm such an indecisive person, but here we go again. I thought I'd do it anyways because I love the Soulsborne series. First of all, I'm going to put at the end the ones I haven't played. The original Dark Souls, the original Dark Souls 2, and the original Demon Souls. So yeah, just so you know. We'll start with Elden Ring. Elden Ring is amazing, masterpiece of a game. We might as well just call it Dark Souls 4 at this point. Huge variety of bosses, impressive that they took their formula from their previous games and then made it more accessible to the general public, as well as converting that formula into the open world map. When you look at Elden Ring, it truly is the culmination of all of From Software efforts that they've accumulated over the years into one game, and it's impressive how they manage all of that. Enemy variety, weapon choices, and build customization is top notch as usual. And I know this game is built around using the summoning bell, but some of these bosses are just straight up unfair if you don't use the summoning bell. Like this one. Incredible deep lore, super replayable, and some of the best bosses they've ever made. And this is not even including the DLC, which included my favorite boss fight ever in a From Software game. And even though I'm praising this game and everything I'm saying is facts, objectively facts, what I care more is my feelings. And my feelings say that this game isn't a 10 out of 10. This type of aesthetic, this type of setting just isn't my cup of tea. And for that reason, I'd give this game a 9 out of 10. I'm putting it in A. Demon's Souls, the PS5 remake. I think this game looks incredible. Definitely the best looking graphic wise out of all the From Software games, even though I don't think it has the better art direction. And it took a while for me to adjust because it's an older game, so the controls aren't as refined and it's a lot slower and more methodical. But I kind of enjoy that approach as well. But what I didn't enjoy are the bosses. The bosses are very bare bones, predictable, slow. The level design obviously isn't as interesting as the games that came after it. And I hated that light world and dark world system thing that they had, where if you die, that world gets more corrupted and it makes it harder for you. Especially during the poison swamp area, I struggled so much. Definitely one of, if not the worst poison area in From Software games. But the sound design when you're fighting that manta ray in the sky is chef's kiss. But that doesn't save the game for me, and for that reason I'm giving it a B. Bloodborne, the one everyone praises, the one everyone says is a perfect From Software game, the golden child. And I've played Bloodborne twice. First time I finished it, I really didn't understand why people liked it that much. Actually, scratch that. First time I finished it, I didn't even finish it. I got to the final boss fight and I was like, I'm not even having fun playing this game, so I quit. And then a couple years later I came back because I was a From Software fan now. I was like, wow, I can't believe I haven't finished a From Software game. I have to finish this. And so I did, and I was like, I understand. I understand why this game is so good. Level design, weapon choices, the fact that they have 2 stages, and the way you can customize them is really fun to tinker with. And a lot of aggressive bosses, which I'm starting to enjoy more with From Software games. I love aggressiveness. I don't want to be playing passively in a boss fight, or with any enemy really. But just like with Elden Ring, my feelings won't make it an S tier. And I think once again it just comes down to the aesthetic. It's not something I can explain, it's just what I feel, and what I felt was that I didn't enjoy this game as much as some other From Software games. But I enjoyed it more than Elden Ring, so I'm gonna put it in A. Dark Souls 3, my first ever Souls-like game ever. I know some people have complaints about it, and some stuff maybe isn't as good as some other games, but it doesn't matter to me. I think Dark Souls 3 is a perfect game, S tier. It will always have a special place in my heart. Music is great, final boss fight is tough as hell, Dance Over the Boreal Valley was the first time I raged, weapon choices, level design, the world, the lore, the fact that this is basically the end of time, voice acting, characters, Firelink Shrine, and the DLCs on top of that. This game could not get any better. 10 out of 10. But what's better than 10 out of 10? 11 out of 10. Sekiro, even better than Dark Souls 3. Sekiro, weirdly, even though it's my favorite From Software game, is the game I've played the least. I've put in around like 180 hours I think. And even though this game doesn't have the customization, you're just stuck with one character, one build, one voice, one weapon. I love the gameplay of Sekiro. I love the aggressiveness. I love that you have to stand there and fight. Because what I felt with the other From Software games is that you can kind of hang back You can kind of play passively and kind of wait for your moment to strike. And that is still fun, but I really prefer hunker down and just scrap in the middle of the arena. Sekiro changed the way I think of these games. Sekiro changed the way I play these games. Because until I played Sekiro, I was always playing these games passively. I was always scared because dying is horrible in these games. You lose everything. But you can't play Sekiro like that. I tried to play Sekiro the first 10 hours like that, and I was punished for it. Until I finally realized, oh, I have to parry. I have to stand here in front of the enemy and fight. And I hope they continue this recent trend of promoting more aggressive playstyles. Dark Souls 2. Everyone says it's bad. I played it, and I think you're all wrong. Dark Souls 2 was a good game. There was not a single bad From Software game. Of course, I do think the systems are a little weird and the level design is a little icky, and it can get extremely confusing. I still have to pull up a map whenever I play that game. But the vibes. The atmosphere might be my favorite out of all of these. It was sad and lonely and wet, but low-key comforting, especially Majula and that OST, the best home base area in any of these games. Though I will say I don't like the stamina management, and the camera is kinda garbage, and the bosses are super easy, and I extremely disliked how many enemies there were in each area. It really ruined the fun of the game, especially in some areas like this one. You either complete an area in one go, or you're stuck there for 4 hours. But what I did appreciate at least is that if you keep dying, they get rid of enemies one by one. So that makes it a little easier. But that doesn't excuse it. Great game, underrated. I don't understand why everyone says it's bad. It's a good game. You're all wrong. B tier. And finally, Dark Souls 1. Classic. Arguably the best level design in the franchise. The way everything connects to Firelink Shrine is extremely impressive. Even the final area of the game connects to Firelink Shrine. Weapons were fun to use, bosses were pretty fun, although admittedly pretty easy. And even though I played the remastered, I would assume that the original isn't that different. And I think it held up pretty well, insanely well actually. I'll put Dark Souls... I don't know, actually. Where do I put it? Is it here? Is it here? Or is it here? I'm gonna put it here. Because even though everything's amazing about this game, it obviously isn't refined as these two, and the combat isn't as addicting and the bosses aren't as complex as these two. So I think it deserves this place. But I mean, yeah, that's my From Software tier list. I think this is definitely objectively correct and everyone agrees with me, and there'll be no arguments ever about what I said. That is all. Goodbye.